control still, making our constant binary choices and voicing our equally shallow opinions more loudly or quietly. Most people can't even decide what color to wear or which burger to eat. Does it matter, man? Autonomy is an illusion.
Here we are today with the Hunter FGA.9. It's a 9.7 premium Hunter in the British line, and it's actually really good. The thing you want to keep in mind though, you are still a Hunter, so I do suggest you to play with someone else, as this is, well, as I just said, it's a Hunter. If you get someone on your 6 and he's able to catch you or stick with you, like F5s, G91YSs, other Hunters, because other Hunters really like to kill you because you're in the same plane, J32Bs, F5s, the MiG-17 with the afterburner, all those kinds of planes. Of course you can outrun them, but it's still rather annoying to deal with because you don't have the turn rate, you have really good retention, you have really good top speed, you have amazing guns, you have 4 Aidens with 150 rounds total, well, per gun total, and you have 2 AIM-9Es, which I do suggest taking. You don't want to run min fuel in this thing because, well, people latch onto you and you have to run. You only have 5 minutes and you will run out of fuel doing that, and you will just get picked off without much of a problem. So this plane, it's good, it's stiff, and it retains its energy. What do you want to do with it? You want to go in and out of the fight. And here I have a 4-man squad versus 4-man squad, so it's not a completely clubfest. As you saw in the intro, there was a 7-kill game, but I didn't really want to use it as it was way too short, because, well, I could fit all the kills in 1 minute, and then a strafe and just a guy going AFK to space. So it wasn't too well interesting. So I just made it the intro, so you can see it nonetheless, because it's another 1 minute ace. And for now, for the gameplay, and here we go. F5 is diving on me, he's probably going to launch a missile at me, at least I'm expecting him to do so. There it is. I can just turn, I will keep most of my energy. He notices that he's not going to catch me anyway, and I'm just going to extend away. The Super Mystere can catch me if he's going in a straight line and he's not moving at all, but if I keep him moving little bits and pieces, he will bleed so much speed that he cannot keep his top speed up. He realizes this as well and he breaks off. So now I go help my teammate. We got Dream Tree or Reckoner over there with an F5 on his ass. They're all in G91YSs and mackerels in the Hunter FGA.9 as well. And I'm trying to look who I want to go for. And this Hunter is going to go for mackerel, and there's a very big chance he's going to launch both missiles at him. And if he does that, he's going to get caught. So what do I want to do? I want to shoot a missile at him. If he doesn't move, he's dead. And if he does move, he will bleed some speed and mackerel can get away from him. Which is exactly what he did. He broke off and mackerel's outrunning him now. Now I'm getting closer and closer because this guy, well, he lost a lot of speed. He moved the moment I shot. Rather unfortunate. I compressed there, so I didn't have enough lead. And now I'm gonna stay on him. We're relatively alone on this side of the map. Check 6 once more because there's a YS nearly. That's the only guy, but Dream Tree is handling him. I'm gonna call him Reckoner because that's a bit easier. I completely under lead there. I haven't been flying the Hunter FGA.9 at this point. Well, not a lot. So my lead is a bit off because they are bottom mounted guns and I'm used to the G91YS as well as the R3 where the guns are on the side. So you have to lead a little bit less. There we go. That's the Hunter dead. Teammates or squad mates rather are secured and they're safe. So what do I do now? I just go back into the fight. And the team looks relatively, well, potato. It's basically dead. And it's us left with a few other people versus most of that team. So what do I want to do in this scenario? I want to pick out targets that are important. The G91YS as well as the F5s at this point are the most important targets. The Super Mystere can run me down, but he loses so much speed, as I just mentioned before, that I can easily outrun him. The F-Saber isn't too much of a problem. Super Mystere goes down, so now effectively we are the fastest planes in the game. Shenyangs are a close second, and then the YS, which is still relatively slow compared to this plane, but it's relatively good as well. Of course, it's a YS, it's highly maneuverable, and it trades in some of that top speed for acceleration as well as turn rate. F5 got shot down there. He didn't really dodge me, so I could just lay a little bit of a blanket of 30 mils and I set him on fire. And jet fires obviously mean they burn up or they run out of fuel before they do so. Either way, he was dead on this side of the map. Team is looking a little bit better now. We got the friendly in the CL-13. He's getting focused down at this moment. Well, focus is a bad word because he's one of the few people left, but you know what I'm saying. He's attracting the enemy. And when enemies are attracted, they're mostly going to lose speed, they're going to shoot, they're going to turn, they're going to do something which makes, or they're just not paying attention, which makes it so that I can come in. Unfortunately, he died before I could come in there. So what do? I'm just going to extend away because this F5 is running me down at the moment. Here's a guy on a 6, so I just want to, well, lead him away from the pack so my team can 3v2 over there. I will lead him a fair bit away, and the moment I start noticing that I'm getting enough separation and they are starting to lose energy because they think I'm running away, I'm going to come back. In the hope that they are not paying attention to me anymore. Of course, this guy is in their squad, so when I turn around, he's going to warn them. So that doesn't really work in this case. But the Shenyang now is relatively far away, and the Shenyang uses quite a bit of fuel with the afterburner. So if I keep running him around like this, he will run out of fuel before me if he keeps that afterburner on. Ragnar, unfortunately, tried to dogfight the F5. He didn't see the Hong guy, the Lieutenant Camouflage. And thus he got him on a 6, and when you have the same plane on your 6 and the guy isn't a complete brain lad, you can expect to die. And of course with the Aidens you don't really need a lot of hits. Shenyang looks to be smoking, the F5 in front of me. Didn't mean to drag him over the airfield, I don't like doing that, but that was the fastest way to my teammate and he decided to follow me. He's not moving at all, spray a little bit, I have plenty of ammo and I need these guys dead. He's crit. Shot his wingtip off, so now it's effectively 2v1. I can outrun this guy, and I will, as well as the G91YS in the background. They are running low on fuel at this point, or at least low-ish. And I know this because they really want to go back to the airfield, and a relatively amount, well, it's a safe thing to say when the match has been going on for about 8 minutes. Camouflage is coming back. Hearing he really likes to go head on with me, so I want to make sure that I shoot before him so that he cannot pull into it. This kind of communication with your squad is very important. If someone is trying to commit with you, you either want to stay clear of those head-ons completely, or you want to make sure that you beat them to it. And all these planes, they bleed a lot more speed than we do, because we're both in the Hunter FGA.9 at this point. And we can just keep zigzagging them around, and every time they turn, they lose more speed than we do. Of course they do have more acceleration, but we are faster than them and we lose less speed, so it's safe to say that we are in an advantageous energy state throughout this whole fight, basically. The G91 or the YS, excuse me, is running min fuel, I think. I'm not too sure. You see that he really wants that head on, I'm not having any of it. Shenyang coming back in, shot a bit too low, not a problem. But if that G91YS is also running min fuel and he's going back to base now, so I'm expecting he is, he starts overheating because it's a YS and he just can't stay in the fight. Without that afterburner he is completely useless in this 2v2. Coming back down now, telling Mackerel to run him down, the YS that's going back to the airfield, as well as the guy that I crit. Shot the wing off, he's trying to land at this point. But he didn't hear it, so he flew with me and now we're kind of useless on this side of the map. And that's basically the game. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments, because it's a very straightforward plane. This thing really excels on target prioritization and just bleeding people's speed. Of course, you are a hunter, you're a brick, so if people start cancerolling around and they start pulling really hard, it's kind of tough to get your shots on. So keep that in mind. You are a support plane through and through. This is a really good plane, don't get me wrong. It's not like the VO2 where you're absolutely useless in a 1v1, because this thing still turns well enough. You do have to keep in mind when you fight planes like I just said, the YS's, the J32s and all those really fast planes. Most things with afterburners are a threat in this thing. And of course other FGA.9s, because they just stick on your ass, and a lot of them run min fuel for whatever reason. So you don't want anyone on your ass, and CL-13Bs especially. If those things start outrunning you, you're toast. You're absolutely toast. But of course not many people fly it. But the problem with the CL-13B is that those 50 cals reach a really far distance. And because of that, they can just hose you down, and they will hit your engine or your wing spar, and every little hit you take will decrease your top speed. And once your top speed starts decreasing, trust me, you're not going to have fun on this thing. And what we are doing right now is just we're going to go for the airfield, because one of them is crit. I shot the wing off, and I really hope he isn't repairing. The other guy, the F-Saber, went back to the base as well. And then we also have the G91YS that's just going back to base, because he's probably out of fuel. There he is, he's landing. And there's 3 people on the runway, because they took not enough fuel. Or they sprayed, or they did something. Well, I shot the wing off from the F5, and that thing, I don't know how he landed that. Actually, kudos for that, because that's not an easy thing to do in the F5. Because that thing is an absolute shit boat when it doesn't have a wingtip. The YS J's out, rightfully so. And we clean up. And I actually miss. Very nice. So I just loop over. Call it scummy that we strafed them at the end. But we were in a very disadvantageous position. We carried them, carried the team, and I'm not gonna let them regain the speed after we just went through all of that, because if I fight them fairly now, nice missile by the way, aim 9Es, if I have to fight them fairly now, what's gonna happen is just we are going to run out of fuel. I only have 5 minutes left, and they have easily 10 to 12 minutes with the afterburners on. And I'm not gonna lose the game because I was being a nice guy, because if I go back to the base and land, they will do the same to us, and you know it. And there you have it, that's game. I will show the results of this game, as well as the game from the intro, so you get a bit of an idea of how much RP and silver lines I'm getting. Normally I say I don't have premium, I'm not researching anything, but in this case I'm actually researching the Lightning. And no, I'm not going to fly that absolute shit boat of a plane, because well, it's a Lightning. A bit of a lower kill game today, but I think it really showcased what this plane is good at. And I'm sorry Dream 3, one of my squad mates has to die. 100k Silver Lions, 24k RP, and for the 7 kill game I would have had 180,000 minus the 34k Silver Lions, unfortunately. 25,000 research points, and that's all for a 10-minute game. Hope you enjoyed it. I will see you tomorrow when the patch drops.